everyone, it's Sharana from Payroll Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing and recapping Your Friends and Neighbors Season 2, Episode 1, We're Here Until We're Not, alright? And you know what I'm not happy about? The fact that Mel and Coop keep playing in our faces like this. It's clear that y'all want to be together. Y'all know y'all love each other. Stop playing and go ahead and get back together. I don't understand why we're doing this song and dance still. I'm getting all excited thinking that they on vacation as a family. You know, Mel getting her back blown out by Coop. You know, kumbaya. Like, we healed from last season. You know, she's not with Nick anymore. She knows that she loves Coop. Coop knows that he always wanted to be with his family. And I thought that we finally were going to get that. But no, they just on some weird co-parenting type of vacation. Obviously, Coop is sitting here flirting with the girl across the bar. Even Mel kind of looked like, don't let me cock block you today. If you need to go ahead and get you one off real quick, go ahead. Don't let me stop you, honey. And then they end up kind of like getting into it because he was like, no, if I wanted to, I could have. And she's like, excuse the F out of me. And then they basically, you know, they just go their little separate ways. So I guess they had their family vacation and they just gonna keep playing in our faces for the rest of this season. But I need y'all to get back together because you know you want to, all right? So Coop is still in stuff, all right? We saw at the end of the season 1 finale that he was offered his job back. He like agreed to all of the terms that he would have wanted. And then we kind of find out in a conversation between Coop and Barney towards the end of the episode on why he decided not to take the job, because he felt like his life would really go back to the way that it was. And as we saw, he was not living his best life. Bills might have been paid. No, he was still in debt even though he was paying some of the bills, but he just wasn't a happy person. So what makes him happy? Breaking into rich people's houses and stealing their stuff. And that's exactly what he's doing with Elena. So while he kind of goes through, you know, now that he has more time back, now that he got acquitted for being tried for murder, because it was really it was Paul who did it, but then Sam tried to set him up. But yeah, that's a whole different story for a different day. We'll get into that later in the episode because Coop is better than me, because I wouldn't have been talking to Sam for the rest of my life. All right, actually, I would have had to have a restraining order if somebody would have tried to set me up for a murder that they knew that I did not commit. Okay, but I'm gonna get into that later in the review. But we see that things are going better. He has time. He got an office in Manhattan to kind of keep up appearances like he's actually working a new job. So, you know, people will understand why he's still able to afford the life that he's living. But he's still, you know, dating these younger girls that he know he don't like, know he don't want to be with. I love that he actually is friends with Nick again. I like that they kind of mended that relationship. Once again, couldn't be me. If you were banging my wife and you were supposed to be my best friend, no, till the day I die. Okay. Actually, if I died before you, I would actually come back to haunt you as a spirit and really just scare you into death as well. If I found out that you were supposed to be my best friend and you were blowing my wife's back out. So once again, Coop is a better person than I am. All right. The Lord, I know you working on my heart. I know, but I'm gonna be petty probably to the day I die. All right. So he's being able to co-parent with Mel, even though they still got this weird little underlying beef, which I really just think is a sexual tension between them two. And then he's taking time to make sure that, you know, he's spending time with his kids, doing what needs to be done with all this new time that he has. But while he has time in his hands, he's breaking into someone's houses. Okay, now he did have a point. Why does everybody have 15 million Cartier bracelets, the love bracelets? And maybe I'm in my feelings because I actually lost my love bracelet. Whoever found it and stole it, I hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I wish you a million years of bad luck. All right, but he's breaking into the house. He's still working with Elena. And this time they're breaking in to steal a pen. And I was like, why are you stealing a pen? But then when he explained that the pen resells for $165,000. And I'm just saying, if anyone that owns this pen for $165, can I hold something? Because honestly, like the level of waste that you have to buy a pen that can resell for $165 is just wealth on another level. So I know that if you wanted to leave me a couple of stacks, that you can go ahead and do that, all right? But while he's trying to steal his pen, he like drops the pen, then he tries to like bend over and get it, and then his dang on back blown out. Now, how you breaking into people's houses, Coop, and your back is this bad? You don't want to go to a chiropractor? You don't want to just go ahead and have the surgery? Like, if you're going to live a life of crime, sweetheart, you need to be making sure that you're stretching, that you're working out in case you got to run. You need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do and then you're in the best shape of your life. I really don't understand why you don't have a masseuse, a chiropractor, a doctor that's telling you to go ahead and get your back taken care of. I don't get it. Elena tries to go in the house to help him. She can't even get him up because there's all this dead weight at this point. And then they had to call Barney. who is not happy because he said, ho, whose house are you in? Do you know these hoes? Why are you breaking into the house? Is this what you've been doing the entire time? Barney's not happy. Barney went in. Now, Coop said it went better than what he thought it was going to be. But then when this is the part that really made me mad. When Barney was like, wait a minute. He said, well, first he asked the obvious question, like, are you and Elena smashing? No, we're just business associates. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Coop, the way that you've been moving in these streets, in these sheets, it would make a lot of sense on why he had to ask that question. But he says no. And then this is the part that really got me mad. So he was like, wait, did you kill Paul? He was like, no. But then he was like, hold on. Come to find out. Wait a minute. When I got ran over, when I almost lost my life trying to go save your raggedy life, did they have a connection to you being thieving up and down these streets in these people's houses? And then he was like, I thought you go over that. Baby, if Coop would have said that to me, honey, I would have been like, square up. I probably would have kicked him in his back. I'm not even gonna hold you. Cause you gonna talk about you're not over that? No, ho, I'm not over that. Cause he probably still in rehab. Y'all know y'all over 40. My body done already broke down. So I know that y'all probably going through some things. You mean to tell me that I was laying up in a hospital bed with broken bones, didn't know if I was going to survive the night, and you talk about you not over that? Ho, no, I'm not. And I ain't going to be over it now that I know it was on some foolishness. Honestly, now that I'm replaying this scene back in my mind and I'm just hearing the words again of what Coop said, if I were Barney, I definitely would have kicked him in his back. I probably would have picked him up off the couch, threw him off the couch, kicked him in his back, and then put him back up and then threw him off the couch again and then kicked him in his back again. I know that's a lie. But that was really disrespectful to be like, you're not over it. Like, no, ho, I'm still healing. Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what the hospital bills are these days, honey? Do you know we're in a recession, Coop? Okay, I'm sorry. So Barney leaves. He's still upset. I'm going to stop with him for a moment, okay? Because then we need to get into some other people, okay? So we have a new character, Owen Ash, who's played by James Marsden. So he's the new hot shot in town, and baby, he's looking good. And he got a lot of money to spend. Because I'm trying to figure out, where do you just have $20 million in cash just sitting around? Once again, if there's an Owen Ash out there that can buy a $20 million house in cash, baby, let me hold something. Because I got bills. I got student loans, okay? I might have to sell feet pics on OnlyFans. Just let me hold something. So he moves into town and he's looking at a house, and then he comes in contact with Sam, who's actually trying to sell her house that her husband, offed himself in. And basically he starts talking. So he's like, why y'all got me at this raggedy house? This little small looking house. What y'all got me in here for? She's like, actually, it's my house. And then she ends up telling him the whole story of what happened in the house and why it's on sale. He's like, dang, girl, like you got a lot going on, Sam. Absolutely. She needs to be in the pits of hell right now instead of actually being a realtor. I don't know what kind of deal that she made that got her just community service and a hefty fine, and she didn't have to do any jail time. But actually, you know what? Let me get your lawyer, Sam, because I might need him. I might need him. Okay. I'm trying to live my life right. But sometimes people just catch you on the wrong day. So he ends up firing the realtor who was like playing in his face. And honestly, like, girl, why would you show this? Like, I don't have time to waste. All right. I'm not here. I'm not like none of your little other clients where I got to think about it. I'm trying to get a house. I'm trying to move in by Monday. All right. So you could tell that there's like flirtatious vibes, but clearly Sam's just trying to mind her business. Cause like, yeah, girl, everyone hates you. So I can kind of see that. But let me go ahead and talk about Mel, who's on a date. I was like, okay, Mel, I see you. Well, if you're not going to be cool, you might as well be getting your back blown out by somebody. But I was like, Mel, we too grown to be in the car. Okay. Y'all got money. You can go to a hotel. I know you can't take him back to your house, but he could have took you back to his house, but not in the car. But her menopause had another thing coming because she had to stop. She couldn't even get her back blown out. And then we see that later on in the episode, she goes to talk to Allie about it, and Allie gives her some KY jelly because her medication, sometimes you be dry and you need a little help, and that's okay. I like that we're having these conversations on TV, that hopefully we're going to be delving into what happens with menopause, and maybe we're going to learn something, because I know my mother didn't teach me nothing. Sharon. Actually, Daddy, if you're watching this, don't show Mama this, because I done said some crazy things this review so far. All right, so She also tells Allie about this teaching job, which really doesn't go over well with Coop, because Coop and Mel kind of get into it because he was like, why didn't you tell me about this first? Like, I don't want to overwhelm her. She was just like, sir, like, this is not your child. She's your sister. She's grown. You need to let her grow and do things for herself. And she's trying to help Allie realize, like, you need to have confidence too. And so, so we see that Tori is just going through it. I did love that in the episode when they're asking, when they're at Ash's party and they're asking Mel, like, hey, how's it going with Tori in prison? And you see, like, Jules is kind of looking like, yeah, how's it going with your little raggedy daughter since your husband blackmailed me from having my daughter go? But Tori just seems to not be into it. This girl showed up to this interview with one of the alum, and basically he was like, hey, why do you want to go to Princeton besides the fact that your parents went? And then she was like, sweetheart, like, why are we doing this? All right, because you know, just like y'all raggedy behinds be donating all this unnecessary money while people are out here struggling, like me, with bills, with student loans, and y'all sit up here and spend all this money just so your raggedy kids, who probably don't even deserve it, can get into Princeton. So, sweetheart, it doesn't matter because I'm going to get in, ho. Even Jeff was kind of looking like, dang, did this girl just read me for Phyllis? She kind of did, and she ate with that a little bit, but yeah, so she was just like, I'm going to be accepted regardless of what happens in this whole conversation. It's not like you on the board to do something. Like, stop wasting my time. That was really kind of the theme of, I mean, I guess it's like we're here until we're not, okay? So let's not waste our time while we're here on this little raggedy planet, all right? So, Barney is going through it. So Barney, his wife is worried about him, and she sets up this meeting for him to meet with his father-in-law. And so the father-in-law is clearly like, hey ho, I don't like you, and I think my daughter can do better. And you've had me stressed out since the day that she's married you because I'm trying to figure out what you be having going on in this house, all right? So he basically offers him a job, and he was just like, but you don't like me. He's like, and I don't, but I love my daughter. So, like, your business model doesn't work. You don't have enough clients. Your clients aren't consistent. And honestly, like, I just need to make sure that my daughter's taken care of. And so we see that, you know, he kind of goes back home, and his wife is trying to, like, have sexy time with him, and then he can't even get it up because he just trying to figure out, why did you have your dad? Why are you trying to set up business meetings? Like, what is going on? So he kind of walks off, and then later in the episode, we see that once they're at Ash's party, they have this conversation again because she brings it up, and he was just like, what is going on with you? Like, why are you so worried about this? And she's like, hey ho, because I'm pregnant, and we have another mouth to feed. Then he was like, is it mine? Once again, the petty would have jumped out, and I'd be like, what? Are you serious right now? But then he got it together and was excited, all right? So, we see that they have that conversation, him and Coop, after he's avoiding him. And then he tells them, like, hey, I want in. I guess everybody's just unhappy with the millions and millions of dollars that they're making in their lives. So they want to resort to a life of crime. I tell you, it's just really crazy because you would never find me doing crime like this, okay? Because I'm going to take the little coins that I have and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And this is why y'all need to stop spending above your means. Just because you make more money doesn't mean that you need to spend more money, okay? Message. Let me say that again. Just because you make more money doesn't mean that you need to spend more money, okay? Because I still make sure I buy my clothes from cheap places. Now, I might have a couple of nice pieces, but you know what? I'm going to thug it out. I've been in my house for the past 3 months because we're just trying to save money. But let me go back to Coop, all right? So I actually really love the relationship between his brother and sister. I have a really close relationship with my brother, and I just love that we actually get to see how brothers and sisters can actually have close relationships when they get older. But we see that he ends up running into Sam at the party, and then she like kind of bumps into him because she just dropped off the gift to Ash, and Ash is trying to get her to stay, and she's like, I really don't feel like being judged. And to be honest, honey, I don't care. I hope they judge you until the day you die, because I'm trying to figure out why you're even able to walk around in society, that you have enough audacity to try to still be up in society like you didn't frame this man for murder, all right? So she bumped into Coop, and she's like, don't worry, I'm leaving. And then I was like, girl, how you gonna have an attitude with me because you tried to frame me for murder? How does that work? Like, you got a nasty attitude like I did something to you. Like, you mad at me for trying to make sure that I can clear my name for my kids and my family. It's the levels of audacity that Sam has that is really just tripping me out. So he was just like, dang girl, like, it ain't that deep, whatever it is. And he seems to be fine with her. Just like when the guys were kind of like in the steam room or the sauna, and I was just like, Coop, how can you be so nice to somebody who literally was okay with ruining your life just so they can get some insurance money? And then then you reward her with $1 million like commission from the sale? Do I need to resort to crime to get some money? Are we rewarding the bad people in life? That's what it feels like. All right. So he ends up meeting Ash. Ash introduces himself to him. Ash is a widow. He has a teenage daughter who, I guess everybody got nasty attitudes because they rich. Maybe that's what being rich does. It just give you a nasty attitude. But I see when he's like looking around Ash's house, I'm like, Coop, please don't rob this man. It's something in my spirit that just tells me that this is somebody that you should not rob. So it's just something in my spirit telling me don't mess with him. But we know that Coop don't know no better, and he just made dumb decisions. So he probably gonna try to rob this man. And so then we see that Diane, drunk behind, falls into the pool. And I really thought that Ash was about to snap. I thought we was about to see a dark side of him. But no, he really threw a lit party. Like, I see you, Ash. You had Mark, I think it's Rebellit, the guy who was like, you gotta wake up. You gotta, like, the person who was keeping us hype in the pandemic, telling us to like get up and go put some real clothes on to take a shower. He was in there DJing the party, and it just like it was a lot of fun. Coop was having fun with Mel. He pushed her in the pool, then he jumped in the pool. Everybody seems to be having a good time, and yeah, but I know this not gonna last. And also too, y'all just gonna give Nick a boo, and we just not gonna talk about it, and Mel not gonna have no reaction to it. I mean, I know she don't care, but I feel like that would still bother her a little bit. But we just not gonna have no reaction to the girl that was in the pool with Nick. We just gonna gloss over that. We just supposed to accept it. But yeah, like at the end, Barney and Coop talk, and he basically tells him that he wants in on the whole robbing and thieving, and he tells him that Grace is pregnant. I'm assuming this is why he's going through his midlife crisis as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this was a fun first episode to kind of establish like where everybody is at. I'm still upset that Mel and Coop are going to continue to play in our face for another season. But I'm really interested to find out more about James Marsden character, and maybe if something's going to happen between him and Sam, who really don't deserve nothing but bad things to happen to her for the rest of her life. Okay. But I'm excited with this new addition. I know that Coop is going to get into trouble, because how are you robbing people and you don't even have a good back? That just don't even make sense, Coop. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the episode, and y'all let me know if y'all want me to recap this, because I feel like not a lot of people be watching it, but if y'all want me to keep recapping it, I will. But like Coop said, we're here until we not. I really don't be having time to play. So let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this week's episode? Do you want me to keep recapping it? I will not stop recapping other things, even if I do this. I don't want to hear y'all mouths. So let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this week's episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you want to see for the rest of the season? But those are my thoughts on Your Friends and Neighbors Season 2, Episode 1. We're here until we're not. As always, my name is Sharona from Pure Waits. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.